right, there we are.
There we are.
Good evening, everyone.
How's it going?
It's going. It took me a really. I was just like wafering all around today. Like, what am I going to play?
I'm surprised you chose what you chose because it seems like such a long game to start right now.
It's a Game Boy game.
Whoops.
It's a Game Boy game.
That's true.
And
that is true.
And lately, I've been continuing the games that I've started on this stream on the Backloggery streams. So I thought this would probably be pretty. I don't know if it'd be doable between today and tomorrow on the Backloggery stream, but I should.
Right.
I imagine I could get most of the way through the game at least with 2 streams. I mean,
well, who knows? Who knows? I have no idea what to expect with this.
Yeah, I mean, I played it a little bit earlier. I mean, believe it or not, like, it's so weird that I'd never played this game before. Like, it just seems like something you would have thought I would have played a long time ago, but I never did because I mean, it's a very early third-party Game Boy game, and
Yeah.
I guess I just always had this idea in my head, like, oh, it looks like A Link to the Past, but not as good,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just put it off for a long time. I do have a Game Boy cart. I put it on the thumbnail, but I just want to do it on the Collection of Mana for some reason. In part because I don't know the status of my Game Boy cart battery.
Right. That makes sense.
So I did play it a little bit earlier today when I was thinking about what to play. So, I got a taste of it. It feels like a Game Boy game. I can play a Game Boy game while streaming. It doesn't take a lot of brain power, don't you think?
Yeah. But you're gonna use the dot matrix filter for it.
I am, and I'm using a NES Joy-Con.
Nice. I thought that I put a new battery in this one. Maybe
I know. I don't think so. You maybe did you might have done Final Fantasy, one of the Final Fantasy Legend games.
Yes, I think that I did it on one of the Final Fantasy games.
This, I think I bought this after you were here, because you were here last May.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it was that long ago.
I was just thinking about that.
That was a year ago. It does not feel like a year ago. But I bought this. Not this, the collection, but I bought the cartridge at Retro World in September. So you couldn't have done it. But yeah, I can't toggle through the filters while I can't toggle through the filters because I don't have ZR and ZL on this controller, but it's actually kind of neat. It's got the default Super Game Boy color palette is one of the options, which is kind of cool. But the dot matrix filter looks amazing. And unfortunately, you cannot disable borders. Like, I don't think there are even any border choices in any of the games on the collection.
Yeah, that is the worst aspect of this collection, I think.
But I feel like
it is frustrating to me, and it's made it so that I don't really have a desire to play it on my TV at any point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really worried about burn-in from this, but
right. But I mean, like, it's just annoying.
On the gamepad screen, I find it a little less annoying for some reason. I don't know why.
On the what?
On the on the handheld Switch screen.
Yeah.
Volume is kind of high. It doesn't
look
that.
I turn it on to see if it helps. So you can, if you turn on the game a little bit, that should be okay.
I'll turn it down. I mean, Game Boy games have kind of a flat audio profile, so even though it doesn't look like it's turned up that high, it probably comes through rather strongly.
Well, either way, I turned myself up on what I was sending you, so we'll see if that happens, if that helps.
Okay.
Oh, we got a $2 donation from Drake57. Thank you.
Thank you.
It says, why do you think Square Enix hates Sword of Mana?
I mean, do you
I never got the impression that they hate the
no,
game.
I think
they remade it so many times too. I mean,
well,
it got
I think he means
and it also had the remake on the Vita.
I mean, I assume he's talking about the actual game Sword of Mana, the GBA version specifically. Like, why have they not re-released it?
Oh,
I mean, that game is not very popular. I remember thinking it was fine, but again, I had not played this original version before. I remember thinking it was an okay game, but people generally seem to not like it.
I don't remember anything about it. Mm-hmm. That came out when I first moved to New York City, and I bought it and I played it on the Game Boy because for a while that was the only system that I had with me.
So I was looking up on the Mana Wiki, and apparently in some media outside the game, this character is either called Sumo or Duke, and I'm definitely going with Duke. Duke. And the girl is either called Fuji or Helena, and since there's only 4 letters, I'm going to go with Fuji.
Venom Rex is asking if we're still looking into 3DS capture card, and we haven't been following anything too closely. I know that Woozle has something coming. He's working on something for DS capture,
right?
But nothing for 3DS yet. Wow, it starts with a boss battle.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like you're a prisoner in the Dark Lord's castle, and you're forced to fight monsters for entertainment. I don't know what the meter on the bottom is for exactly. It almost makes me think of like the charge meter in Secret of Mana, but it charges really slowly and it's really long. So I don't know what it. I don't know. Can someone tell me a little about it?
Can anybody enlighten?
Like, does it slightly increase the strength of my attack? Because it's so slow, it's not worth waiting for it to fill.
ABO Hiccups is asking, do you have to jailbreak or run homebrew launcher to extract ROMs from the collection of mint? And I have no idea.
Your audio is sounding really loopy or something right now.
It's sounding loopy?
Now you're sounding better.
Okay. It's not going to be completely fixed until I get that splitter tomorrow. If I was to fix it right now, I'd have to really crawl behind my computer and rerun some certain wires. So I'm not going to mess with it right now. Let me see if I can fix the. Hang on.
Oh, now I'm hearing the game come. I'm hearing me and the game come back like really bad.
Okay. All right. How about now? Do you hear yourself now?
I mean, not right now, no.
Okay, do I sound okay now?
I mean, for the moment, yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe it's just the noise reduction on here. So let's see what happens. This will all be fixed when that's
I should probably actually turn the volume down a little bit on my receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it it was pretty loud. But let me know. Let me know if this is if it sounds okay. It might have just been Discord's noise reduction that was doing it.
Maybe. Oh, see, I that meter was really full I guess because it's been a while since I fought. This this scene of him fighting the boss is the image that's used in the Nintendo Power Top 100 Games entry for this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I always think of when I think of this game.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I haven't really seen a lot else about it beyond that. Like it's pretty crazy to think of like a series like Mana and to think that neither of us had played the original.
Frosty Feet, he's playing it on the Collection of Mana compilation for the Nintendo Switch. The Dark Lord. I mean, the Dark Lord is such a generic villain for a game. I feel like somebody like the Dark Lord was the villain for almost all early RPGs.
Yeah,
They're all different, like Dark Lords, of course.
I mean, like Dragon Quest's villain is almost always some variation on a Dark Lord. I mean, he is just like the big bad leader of all the monsters in the world.
Yeah.
Like that's just what he always is.
Right. It's either the Dark Lord or the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a $5 donation from Jonathan Hinson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Says, thanks for all the entertainment during the lockdown. This is what I look forward to the most during the week.
Oh.
You guys are having a relaxing weekend and safe Memorial Day weekend. To be honest, it doesn't even feel like it's a holiday weekend at all.
Nah, there was some. I've been hearing some people partying in houses near me lately, which is weird because normally people don't really party around here. It's normally a very quiet weekend, but
do it.
Huh?
They only have to do it because it's discouraged.
Yeah.
Only things that are worth doing are things that people don't tell you not to do.
Okay, so earlier when I was testing the game out, I got a candy.
Mm-hmm.
And is double tapping it like deleting it or something? Like it's gone and my HP didn't recover. Huh?
You weren't using it?
No, my HP is still 4.
Maybe is it equip it on a different button?
Oh, maybe it put it on B?
Right.
Well, I think my HP recovers that when I level up anyway, so it's a little bit like Trials of Mana where you actually choose like your stat to upgrade. Let's see. What's my
PlayStation 3 battery power supply? What do you mean?
Wait, PlayStation battery. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. I mean, PlayStation 3, if you're just talking about like the plugging it in, it
just uses a generic cord that you can get from just about any place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the original fat PS3 uses just like the kind of power cord
Like
you
a
use in
PC
a PC or in a PVM, and then the Slims just use a regular figure 8.
Right. My audio's sounding good now, though, right?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. So I'll be fixed next time.
I have to take her to Wendell. That sounds a little familiar, huh?
Yeah, it's certain locations, and I guess are what they use for connecting the series, even though they're not exactly the same places.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's supposed to all take place in the same world, but it's, I think long periods of time in between games.
Yeah. We got a $2 donation from Warren Hokie asking what our favorite mobile Castlevania is. Finished Aria of Sorrow and loved it. I would say the Aria of Sorrow is my favorite that I've played. It's one that I've spent the most time with.
It's up there, but I feel like I probably spent the least time with it because it's so short and I only played through it one time. I mean, I remember it being really good, but I kind of liked the overlapping castle gimmick and Harmony of Dissonance, to tell you the truth, even though I don't think that's the most I should save. I made a test save earlier.
You can save anywhere, right?
Yeah. So I should save frequently. I don't know if Wendell is like the nearby town. I mean, Circle of the Moon was it feels really awkward, the controls do today, but it was the first time that like the Symphony of the Night style world layout had ever really been revisited. So it was kind of a treat in that way. But it's really hard to pick. I mean, I put possibly the most time into Dawn of Sorrow, but I also really liked Portrait of Ruin, even though I think that was not necessarily one of the more popular ones, but I really enjoy that. I mean, I kind of like them all. I mean, it's hard to pick one favorite. Order of Ecclesia, though, for some reason, I don't love that one as much, even though I think that one's...
I recently heard that one is recently become extremely expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I got day one. I was like... I felt some of the most miserable, like, from food poisoning of some kind. Like, when I picked that. Like, it was like I was just barely recovering the day that came
out. We got a $5 donation from Dimitri Travelos.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, love the channel, got component cables and an OSLC to elevate my GameCube experience.
Nice.
Thanks to you. Also, your theme music is lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Did you get official component cables?
Unfortunately, Insurrection is not planning to make their component cables anymore because the material cost is just kind of too high. Look, it's
I wonder if they will do one last run or anything like that. I think that maybe they had said that
it's Mr.
Modi. Know that they were not doing anymore.
It's the guy, the shopkeeper guy in like all the mana games.
Oh yeah, he's dancing.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
That shopkeeper is one of the silliest parts about the remake of Trials, I think. And I really disliked his voice because he just...
I mean, all the voices.
Come again.
Yeah.
Come again.
Lots of wares to browse. All the voices in that game are pretty bad, though.
Now I got a $2 donation from Dustin Kramer. Thank you. saying get the back to work, Coury. I'm kidding, of course. I've been doing some freelance work for him.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Further, using the Coury HDMI to an HDMI component adapter gives you the same result as a straight component cable.
I mean, who could? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't say.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't have an adapter like that to try it on.
That is not a combination that I would just try out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a lag-free. That's actually something that I was thinking about recently, because to test, if I wanted to test the lag on that DVDO iScan Pro, I would need like a lag-free HDMI to component converter.
Yeah. Someone should do a video of the top shopkeeper characters in video games. I mean, I think that Resident Evil 4 would probably have to be number one.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, there's nothing else that could.
I mean, the librarian in Symphony of the Night's pretty good too.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm interested in this.
Oh, are you serious? I just bought the same freaking sword I already had.
The same sword you already had. Yeah.
Well.
No, the pig from Wonder Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have a voice though.
Skullmageddon. Yeah, but Skullmageddon's only in the game for a second. I don't feel like he ranks up there very high because it's more of a cameo.
Yeah.
I've not played Moonlighter. I do have was it Recettear? Resettear? However you say it. I think I have that on Steam, but I've never played.
Oh, the game where you are the shopkeeper?
Oh. The shopkeeper from Link's Awakening? I don't remember anything about shopkeeper from Link's Awakening.
Well, he can murder you. If you steal from the shop, like, which you can do by just picking, because you have to buy something in that game, you pick up an item and you walk up to the counter carrying it. But you can also just like walk out the door and have it for free. And if you do that, you get to keep it. But if you go back into the shop, he kills you. Like he will kill you. Like you cannot survive.
Really?
Yeah. Like you can't buy anything there again. Like, you don't have to, but like the big incentive is there, like the bow is extremely expensive. I forget how expensive, but it's pretty expensive. So I think but here's the other thing. If you do steal, then every character in the game calls you thief from then on, like instead of Link. Like they just replace Link with thief. So like even when you're talking to like Marin or some other important character, they're just having like a nice heart to heart with you, but they're calling you thief.
Bag of Schmidt was wondering if we've tried the 8-bit dough or 8-bit dough, 8-bit do PCE controllers, and we haven't. I'm hoping it will result in actual wireless controllers for a real system.
Yeah, same.
Because then that's the main way I'll use it. I don't really see a reason to get it for a system that I will basically never play, I guess.
I got my Turbo
I
16 Mini yesterday, but I haven't even unboxed it.
It's a neat thing to have, but I can't really see myself playing it all that much outside of after doing the video. That's just. I got another $5 from Warren Hokie again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying you guys have really helped me get through COVID. Thank you for the channel, the streams, and the enthusiasm. And live forever. Thanks. I only regret that we couldn't have released more content during this time.
I know. I mean, I feel really bad because I was hoping that Analog Frontiers 2 could be out by the end of the month, and then I took on a freelance project that ended up setting me back more than I anticipated. But like, I've decided that starting this week, other than stream nights, like I'm going to be working until 9 p.m. until Analog Frontiers 2 is done. I have to do it to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So part of my motivation is me, Drum, and Lynn are going to start playing Dragon Quest X. When I said we'll properly start playing it when I've finished Analog Frontiers Part 2, but we got the recently released all-in-one package. Like, they've released, like, I think when we were in Japan, I remember seeing advertisements for the all-in-one package version 1 through 4 releasing soon. And now they've got like version 1 through 5, which for some reason I guess they just called the expansions versions.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just, you know, there are 5, or I guess technically 4 expansions if version 1 is the original storyline. So I got the PS4 version, and man, like I just, you know, kind of booted it up a little to get a sense of it, and I am impressed. Like, it's in Japanese. Thankfully, Lynn, you know, is pretty darn good with Japanese, so we should be covered there. But like, I did not expect any PS4 Pro support at all, and it's like 4K 60.
Really?
Yeah, like, I mean, now keep in mind it's a Wii game originally, so yeah, the textures are pretty low res. Even the text is pretty low res. Like, you can tell that the text assets are like you know, designed for a much lower resolution. They're kind of blurry, but the game graphics are really crisp, and like the frame rate is pretty good. Like, once I wandered around and found a town that had a lot more players in it, and you know, the frame rate dropped there, but I mean, for the most part, it's shockingly good on PS4 Pro. I was not expecting it to have any support, but this guy don't know nothing. Go away. Oh, he will talk to me. But it's like basically just a regular old Dragon Quest game. I'm kind of shocked. It's kind of awesome. Like, it feels like what I wish have always, I mean, really never dared wish that an MMO could be, which is just a regular Japanese RPG, but online. Like, the gameplay systems always seem like they're sort of different to compensate for playing with different people. But other than the fact that the battle, like, the menu pops up on a hidden ATB, it just pops up periodically, and then you can, you know, attack, use magic abilities, items, etc. Like, it just plays like Dragon Quest. It's kind of crazy. It's awesome. Like, it doesn't even seem like so far I haven't even had to engage in the player economy. Like, I got money from monsters and bought better armor from a shopkeeper.
So you guys all is she gonna translate it all in real time?
I don't know if she's really going to translate everything. She's probably just going to summarize like what's happening in the story so far. I mean, the point that I played up to, I used the camera with Google Translate to get the gist of what was going on.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, and I'm really sad that we never got it in English, but because I'm impressed so far. It's good.
Huh. Buck and Chuck Gaming say Dragon Quest IX is the closest we'll get to the game you guys are describing, and I loved Dragon Quest IX.
I mean, it was your first.
I had it like over 130 hours or something in it. Loved it.
It is very weak in my memory. Like,
really? It was the game that basically made me fall in love with the series. It was the first game in the series that I really spent a lot of time playing. I played parts of the original, but I hadn't played any of the other games in this series until I played Dragon Quest IX and loved it. I should get my save game out and see how many hours I had. Maybe it wasn't 130, but it was over 100, I think, for sure.
See, I only played 9 for like 40 hours because I beat it and then didn't do a whole lot else.
I can understand.
I mean, it's not that I didn't like.
I understand that people say that it's the weakest game in the series or this and that. It didn't really do anything for me, but for me, it was the right game at the right time, in that I could play it, and now I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time focusing on the story, but I would spend a lot of time playing it on the subway, and I also used it because at the time, in New York, they would have these gatherings at the Nintendo World Store where people could get together and trade items and stuff for Dragon Quest IX specifically, and it was a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. It was definitely the right game at the right time for me.
Yeah, I get that. I hit the B button and there was a sparkle. I'm not really sure what it was. So your other stats do go up when you... Actually, I'm going to say no and see what the balance is.
Right. Buck and Chuck game. That's exactly what I was talking about, where they would have these things at the Nintendo World Store, and you could do the treasure map stuff together. It was a lot of fun. And in many ways, that event was the predecessor to these Street Pass gatherings that they would later have.
Mm. Can you look up what the B button does in this game? Because I hit the B button and there were sparkles.
Yeah, you have to press your B button. It's not doing.
It's not. Item? Matic? Oh, I've only got 7 Matic uses. Actually, I'm kind of... Hang on, I'm going to save again. So what's my magic? I don't have any magic.
Excuse me.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy how much Dragon Quest X feels like just a regular Dragon Quest game. I'm honestly pretty excited to get to it. So that's my big motivation for finishing Analog Frontiers Part 2 right now. I'm going to get into that. It's pretty cool.
So the B button uses your items. It says B button is the item button. Uses items, uses magic, and cancel button.
So so if I select Matic twice, like it's gone now. If I go to equip, do I see it? I don't. You don't see it at all. Like it's kind of weird. Like how can I? Like if I go to candy, does that put the Matic back? Okay, it does. Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, we got
Whoa!
$10 donation.
Whoa, that was cool.
Oh, look at that. You're flying around.
I wonder, you know what? That meter is charging a lot faster now. Like, maybe it's going up as I level up, or the speed goes up. I'm not sure what stat affects that. Could you look up what the stats affect?
I will in a second. We got a $10 donation from Old School Boy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, crazy that the first stream I have time to watch from beginning to end on this channel is of my favorite Game Boy game.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's a game that I probably should have played before now.
Yeah, I mean same here. Same here. It's really shocking to me that
you haven't played it more.
Yeah, or that I don't even think I tested it out in any capacity before today.
Did you play this when it came out, or I mean, Old School Boy? Did you play this when it came out? Is that why it's your favorite game, or did it later become your favorite game? While I wait for your answer, we got a one euro from Dythy without a message.
But thank you.
Later, the B button allows you to summon allies' abilities. And hey, have you seen? Says you see it when you click start. Look at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I'll check that. All this guy has is a battle axe. I can't afford it. Oh, how about some items?
You charge that up with the willpower stat. You charge up your meter with the willpower stat.
Okay. Good to know. Oh, okay. I can see that my candy is equipped. I mean, it's cool that like it is still like candy here, you know, even though they called it Final Fantasy, but it's, you know,
yeah,
it is mana.
If only candy healed me or healed you, I'd be. My kids would be in perfect health, that's for sure. We got Wrestling with Gaming is in the chat, and earlier he said I really enjoyed Analog Frontiers, and I gotta say your Neo Geo video was incredible, and like the opening to that, I'd like to know how long that took you, because the editing on that is insanely great. It's like these rapidly quick cuts, but like a lot of zooming in and out with scan lines and everything, and unfortunately it really makes the YouTube's bitrate re-encode break down at times. but it is just incredible looking. We got another €1 from Dythy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm curious if you did the intro first before you started working, like editing the rest of it. A lot of times the intro is the last thing that I do, or one of the last things that I do in editing. But I think that I talked to John Linneman about this, because he says he always does his intro first to get himself typed up to edit the rest of the thing. And you could really tell in the intro to DF Retro's videos.
Yeah.
That he loves doing those intros.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, how like you really seem like you're much better at feeling out like a piece of music for an intro or something like that than I am.
Mhm.
And I was just, I loved the piece of music that Matt McCheskey gave us for using as the Analog Frontiers opening. But like, I just could not feel out how it should direct the intro. And you figured it out so much more quickly than I did. And I was just like, yes, that's it. So, I mean, you kind of built the structure for the opening.
Yeah, and then you were able to tweak it along to how you felt that it fit in with the feel of the documentary.
Yes, and I also, like, I wanted the text to be consistent with the rest of the documentary and
Right.
stuff like that. And I'm also swapping out the shots.
Right.
For each episode. So, like, I've already got it built for Analog Frontiers Part 2 that has a version of the opening with different shots. Mm-hmm. Which, that was all of that kind of stuff was some of the last stuff that I did for Analog Frontiers Part 1. And for Part 2, like, I've got almost all of, like, the tedious stuff that I did at the end of the first one. I've got most of that done on the front end of work on Part 2.
We got $1.99 from Gaming Blows, saying when's the Choaniki stream.
There's a wide mage in here. Look at that.
Someday. Okay, so you always edit the intro first, same reasons as John. Yeah, I think I used to do that more, but now since we have our intro is pretty standard, I guess there is times when I've done the intro earlier on in the edit to get a feel for it, especially with documentary stuff. Like I did the intro for M2 Complete Works pretty early in the editing process for that. But since our regular show intro is usually a very standard thing, it's some voiceover, and then one of us appears on camera with a lower third, and it's maybe 2, 3, or 4 B-roll shots, and then it goes into the intro. And it's usually around like 35 seconds or so, 45 seconds. Sometimes it's gone over a minute, but it's really very standard now. That it doesn't get me hyped up to edit anything else in the episode that I don't even talk about it.
This whole thing cracks me up. This conversation, like we're sleeping in this place, and she just like wakes up and she goes, "Duke, I think you should know how to use Cure Magic. Here, read this book." It's like
it was that easy.
It's like, you know, she's been holding back here, but it's like it's time we had this conversation. You should know how to use Cure Magic, Duke. Seriously.
Warren Hockey was just talking about Crusader Ascenti, about how they were thinking about playing it. And I think that as expensive as that game has been up till now, I think that it's going to skyrocket now that Gaming Historian did a video on it. It probably already has. So, I mean, it is one of those games that has always been out of reach for me.
Yeah, but the Japanese version is luckily...
Yes, I have the Japanese version.
I do too. I
mean, I bought the Japanese version so I could play the US version on EverDrive or the Mega SD instead. But it was good to. I like to at least pay money for a game if I'm going to commit to it.
Yeah,
and I will decide. I bought the Japanese version so that I felt okay doing that I wanted to do that. So, I mean, that might be something to look into.
I would love to play like the actual Japanese cartridge of it one day. I mean, I'm kind of trying to use Dragon Quest X as motivation to actually, you know, kind of start some effort to learn a little Japanese.
Mhm.
So I download some hiragana and katakana flashcard apps to my phone and have been just doing those while I've been eating. And that's not too hard, but then like if you look at like an actual string of it, that is like a lot harder than when you're just presented with one at a time. But I tried. I was looking through a few of my Super Famicom games to see like if any seemed to use really simple stuff, like not a lot of kanji or anything. So I was kind of getting some ideas for like, what might be some games to help learn. So I'm going to try to seriously kind of do it.
We got €2 from Jesse Siegel saying thanks for Analog Frontiers and Masterclass. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And we really need to
get. Well, we really need to get
100 level too, and that is on my list. I have a large list of about 10 episodes of things that I've committed to or are the most anticipated or asked for episodes, and I am really focusing on doing those. There's certain commitments that we had agreed to a while back that need to happen first. But I think that I have 2 of those in the works right now, along with the Trials of Mana video, and I know that we're gonna be like last to the party on this, but we were sent one of the Evercade devices, and I have a short episode planned on that, and I have that mostly bullet pointed out.
Are you planning to do it as a mini or a scripted?
It's going to be a scripted, but I'm going to try to do it, and I'm doing it in a different way.
Oh, okay.
And also the analog DAC is another one that is bullet pointed out. So those are going to happen in pretty quick succession, along with the Trials of Mana, and then right immediately after that,
Analog Frontiers 2 should be coming by around then.
Right. But then after that, there's many episodes that are asked for. CRT Geometry, arcade gaming at home with a super gun, a Mr. Video, RGB 211 Sega Dreamcast, save file preservation, transfer, and sharing 2, which is memory cards and internal saves.
I don't think I'm hurting these
And
things.
I'm going to at last do something with the EGM documentary stuff that we shot a while back. That is basically evergreen anyways, and it should have already happened, but I feel like it needs to be out there. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's going to be viewed as a full-fledged documentary. Probably not. But I'm going to, it's the people who wrote for EGM early on in their own words, I guess. I think it'll be fun to listen to that. And I'm planning on doing my part of my new setup and studio tour. And of course, finally, we have another best way to play that we've been putting off for a long time, and that is on Final Fight. So those are the episodes that are in my immediate future that I am just focusing on getting that stuff out. And you think about those episodes are things that people have been asking for. Oh, and there's also this is kind of something that is a commitment that we had, but it's one of our highest viewed episodes. So I feel like it's important to go back, and that is the So it's just an EverDrive and SC-SNES update video covers all the different updates that have come out since we did a video. We did a video on it.
Oh no, I died.
So, I mean, that's just something that is easier to do as well. But I'm taking on a different method of writing, and that is by bullet pointing out with stub bullet points, pluses and minuses and all this other stuff for like a whole episode. And then I will take that and turn it into a script.
Yeah, because I noticed that you were much faster at making bullet lists than writing.
Yeah, well, it's easy. I'm just finding this easier for me to break down my thoughts that way. It's very much time for me to understand what my strengths are and how I need to work with them.
I have 2 bronze keys now.
I'm really making an effort just in my day-to-day life, in my speaking, my manner of speaking, and I think that I used to be better at it, but have lost it somewhere along the way, and that is to stop saying stuff like that, like pausing. When I speak, I need to like be okay with the way that I pause, but I don't need to fill that pause with it's like I don't need to vocalize my thought process. So I'm really trying to do better at that. So you might hear me pause here and there, and I think a lot of that is because I've gotten so sick of editing around myself in the mini episodes that we do. And I think back to the Genesis mini episode, and I feel like I was able to edit that really good. And I think that one of the reasons it went so smoothly with that is that I was extremely prepared for it. So I'm really going out of my way to over prepare for stuff, and I think that by doing the see, there I go. See, I know about it when I do it, so I'm making sure to think about it when I have to do it. When I have to say But yes, I mean, there's a lot of filler words that I'm trying to get rid of. But by bullet pointing out everything, it will hopefully make my script writing a lot clearer and easier and to the point. But by bullet pointing everything out, it also makes it so that I'm extremely prepared for what I want to talk about.
I just realized that I completely forgot to equip that battle axe I bought. Oops, I did not mean to use that item. It still doesn't hurt those slimes, though.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even consider a word.
Well,
I think that it's just us vocalizing our thought process.
I mean, it's what is termed as a filler word.
Yeah. So I'm really making an effort in my day-to-day life to talk without them. And if I need to pause, I think that's okay. I don't need to fill that pause with filler words.
It's a tough habit.
It is.
I've got much worse than you do. But you know, it's funny
when you watch the minis that we have done, you are much better than I am, because I mean, you tend to just kind of go and go and go and go, like just talking and talking.
Well,
and talking.
I feel like I've thought a lot about.
For me, it's just very tough for me to condense. I try to condense what I'm saying, and that results in a lot of pauses and figuring out how I want to say it instead of taking the time at the beginning to just work it out in my mind and then say it all at once.
I mean, I feel like I've thought a lot about what I want to say about a subject before we do a mini, so that probably helps me a bit there. But
yeah, I used to be really good at that kind of stuff. When I was seeing a lot of people in my day-to-day life, I guess, when I was talking to a lot of people face to face, but ever since having kids and moving, and especially with all this, I feel like I don't have face-to-face interactions with people besides my family and, you know, a 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And that has negatively affected my ability to carry a conversation. There was a donation I missed way earlier from Jonathan G, saying, "Have you guys ever had a tasty home grilled burger yet?"
Not since the quarantine, but
I've had a tasty home grilled burger several times. I just put a new burner shield in our grill because ours was breaking apart. It had been used so much. Thank you. I'm a big fan of grilling.
Yeah, I've been a bit hamburger starved.
Another $2 donation from an old school boy saying you should level up your wisdom for later.
Oh, for my spells and stuff that I don't have.
See, Jonathan G, that is exactly true. Being calm while you speak is the best approach to let the words happen and make small changes over time.
I didn't actually lose
exactly.
that bronze
I need to slow down in the way that I speak as well. I mean, you look how I was just explaining stuff. I tend to get on a roll, and I talk fast, I guess, at times. But if I have a more measured pace for the way that I speak and deliver stuff, I think that maybe that will make it a lot easier to make the changes in my speech patterns that I want. So maybe that's something that I should think about more. And you're right when you say that, though, as I should say. I should just slow it down and speak more in a more measured way.
But see, then we'll get all those comments again saying, "You guys are so slower. Let me do you a favor. Play this back at 2 times speed."
I'm not going to slow it down to that point. What I'm talking about is more when we're speaking right now on stream, because I don't have to talk so slow during episodes. I can just get that information out because that is already pre-written for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just get it. I know what I need to say. I just read it. But I'm talking about more just in a conversation when we're talking, or when I'm talking to other people. Maybe I just need to slow it down and speak with more intent. But see, Retro Morgan, you're totally right. I think that when I'm with people, I do a lot better. And in those kind of situations, I think that I'm do it a lot better. I'm a lot better face to face. I'm more talking about when we do the minis and stuff like that, when we're just talking to each other, and I don't have another person like face to face with me to bounce off of, even though we do bounce off each other while we are recording those. It's not the same as being in the room and face to face with somebody. Context repeaters. What are context repeaters? Mitch B says, cutting back on context repeaters took me years.
Is that another term for filler words?
Maybe. Yeah, we're all getting a bit worse at public speaking skills as an unavoidable matter. It's natural to feel like those skills are growing dull right now. It's true. It is true. But I think that might have been growing dull even longer, like having worked from home before this. And a majority of my conversations are with children. Warren Hokie, we do have something going on in our Discord, in our Patreon Discord, that is a game club that I just put the poll up for the first one that will start at the beginning of the month. And I'm not sure if we're going to record anything, but it's more of just, at first, it's going to just start as a way for many people to play the same game at the same time and discuss. And maybe I'll do some streaming of it. One thing I've been thinking about recently is how it might be fun to do live streams and have people on, like that are in our Discord that are also playing the same game. Maybe we could do occasional live streams where we just like talk about it and when I'm playing through it.
What are the games on the poll? I know you told me, but
the games on the poll is Wonderful 101, since that just got a re-release. The Last Story, Kirby Superstar, and what is Ape Escape. Oh, context repeaters as in Final Fantasy Adventure is good. I enjoy Final Fantasy Adventure. Context was established so using word like it or whom to get points across quicker.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that I do a lot, and I found that both of us have really struggled with this when we're trying to wrap up a mini, is we would say sort of the same thing again and again. And of course, in editing, it's easy to find how to cut those out, but we would sort of say the same thing again and again. And I just did it where I just said, we said the same thing again and again. I've said it like 3 times now. I'm bad. I'm pretty bad at that. Like at the end of the Mana episode that you're working on editing, I was like, I mean, it's just fun to play. Like I just said that so many times, and you probably said some variations on it too. Like we had a really hard time sort of figuring up our words to kind of end it on. I feel we just everything we said, we just kept defaulting back to it's fun.
Either like the minis have never had some big grand ending anyway.
No. But sometimes I've said something and I'll kind of like, I'm like, oh, that could kind of work for an ending. Or as I'm saying it, I might realize that what I'm about to say might be an ending. So I sort of, I'll make my tone in the sense in such a way where it feels like it could be an intentional ending.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Like at the end of the when we were nearing the end of the Final Fantasy episode, I said, you know, I'm not writing off I actually probably shouldn't say, but I said, you know, they'll take a lot to win me over. And I sort of said it in a way that was like, I sort of bookmarked in my brain. I was like, okay, if we don't say anything better than that, then that would be a good phrase. The way that I said it felt like an ending.
Mitch B says, elevator pitches are excellent practice. Try to explain large concepts in as few sentences as possible. I like the idea of that.
Yeah. Like, have you ever heard of like what a high concept film is defined as? Like, I used to hear the term high concept film, and I just assumed that meant that it was like, oh, like sort of some really heady idea that gets you thinking. But what it actually is a concept that is extremely easy to say in a few words that immediately when you tell someone that idea, they're like, oh, that sounds awesome. Like, billionaire philanthropist funds dinosaur park, like,
yeah.
that's like immediately like, oh, that's interesting.
There's a lot for us to chew on in terms of getting more efficient with the way we say stuff. And I think that editing these minis has really brought the way that I speak and repeat myself, or I pause. It's really brought it to the forefront of my brain. Jesse Siegel is asking how long it takes to produce a mini. Well, a lot of that depends on how much research it takes and how many ums and ahs there are that I need to over edit. I suppose
the theory is you want to edit it in a day.
Yes, but that is the only. That's happened exactly once, where I was able to edit that then for the next day. And the other times it's been more of a slow-paced. It's been more of a slow-paced thing where I was able to edit it over the course of a week. But when I look at the Trials of Mana video and I compare that to the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I see the views on the Final Fantasy Remake video, I'm kind of like, well, maybe I don't need to like go too overboard with this, because this is certainly just for a very specific audience.
Yeah.
Who are interested in this kind of thing, interested in us doing this kind of thing. So I might play a little bit looser with this new version, or with the Trials of Mana video.
Oh man.
Yes, we will have a lot less competition for it, and I think that's.
Of course, I mean it's still late, but
for sure. But
we're really doing these minis for us. Like, we just want an excuse to collect our thoughts on a game because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
The music in this game is really good. I mean, I'm definitely remembering some of it from when I played Sword of Mana. But otherwise, I'm not remembering much of the scenarios. I'm not sure how closely it really follows it, but I mean, I played that. I played it when it came out, but I didn't finish it. And then I restarted as the other character and eventually finished it. But it's still been a pretty long time ago.
Tony Galvin's wondering if we talk about the screen tearing in Trials of Mana. And we played the PS4 version on the PS4 Pro. I didn't notice any screen tearing in that version.
I did not either. I mean, the frame rate is not entirely stable, but I normally notice screen tearing. That's not something you see a lot these days.
Yeah. Do the other versions have screen tearing? Oh, okay. I played the PC version.
Oh, well, can't you in PC games normally just, like, is there no way to force VSync? I mean, I thought that PC games could always, like, be V-synced or not V-synced.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. They took me out of the dungeon.
I mean, if this is really short, I need to capture some video of this anyways for
I mean, I'm enjoying it so far.
the Trials of Mana video. Which I will, I mean, I'm going to try to release that by midweek. And even though we're going to have two videos on game review, well, they're not really called minis anymore. We've changed the name to MLiG Adlib, so it makes more sense. So it's not just, it applies to the delivery of the episodes better than minis did, especially because the last mini was an hour long. It's not a
many in any sense
of the word. It's silly, but no, it's Adlib is fun to say. I think that it
rhymes with MLiG, sort of.
Yeah, and I think that it works well because it sums up exactly what they are. And I think that people will know exactly what they're getting into when they click on it.
Yeah.
Or don't want to click on it because of that, which is fine.
This is fine, yeah.
It is hard to say very quickly, but I mean, it's more of it's a description for the episode. It doesn't have anything else to do with anything. It just shows up in the intro and it shows up in the very end of the title. It's just a descriptor of the style of the episode.
Did what's his name? Is it Kakuta? I think is the name of the guy who normally does the mana music. I don't think he did this. I don't know who did this music. I'm pretty sure Oimatsu did Final Fantasy Legend 1 or Saga. All right, I learned fire. I should be able to defeat those things with it. Nice.
We got $10. Thank you from Craig Wan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So here's my money. Buy something nice. Are you excited for the recently announced Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 1 and 2? It'd be dope if we made an episode comparing the early versions to the new ones. And that is something that I would like to do. The sad fact of the matter is that I'm not very good at Tony Hawk. I played the third one extensively, but that was the last one that I really played a lot.
You'd be pretty alone in that episode too. I mean, I'm sure I played Tony Hawk at some point because some of my friends had them, but you know, it was never something that interested me.
Yeah. I played 1, 2, and 3 a decent amount, but I played 3 more than 1 and 2. And I wish that they had actually included 3 in the remaster. I'm not sure why they're not including 3. It would have been really cool if they did, especially since it is the last one that didn't have the open world aspect that 4 started with it. So it would have been nice if they had done 1, 2, and 3. But regardless, I will be purchasing it. Yeah, 3 is my personal favorite too. We got a $2 donation from JLF saying Analog Frontiers Part 2 ETA. No pressure.
hopefully by like mid next month. Hopefully sooner than that, but we'll just have to see.
It's like 3 weeks.
That's whew. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, like I've decided that like well, technically starting Tuesday because Monday is backlog restream night. I'm going to work until 9 o'clock every day until it's done, except on stream nights. Like I just have to do that. That's better than what I did for Analog Frontiers Part 1. But can you look up what the crystal does in this? Because I've got 2 of them. Oh, interesting. I didn't know I had dungeon map.
Fills will bar by 100%.
Oh, that's cool.
But I will try. I mean, my intent is to get 3 smaller videos before that is out. So it's going to be this Trials of Mana video, it's going to be the Evercade video, and the Analog DAC video.
And those will be regular scripted episodes, but probably a little shorter than normal.
Exactly.
But at least they'll come quicker.
Exactly. I mean, that is the idea. That it's nice doing these hour-long episodes every time, but sometimes you just don't need it. And I think that's okay to do, a 15-minute episode. And I think that there's only so much there is to talk about, like with the Analog DAC. There's no need to make a 45-minute episode about the Analog DAC. I don't even think I could, especially since the fact that for all the B-roll or all the game footage in it, instead of just showing direct capture, I am shooting it off a CRT just so that it relays better what it's actually doing, because there's a very specific subset of people that it is for in the first place.
Yeah.
And just doing a direct capture is silly, especially when you have a pristine HDMI capture that you can just do without it, doing the same thing. There's no reason for me to take the Analog DAC or to convert it to analog through the DAC and then send it to the OSSC and then make it HDMI again. There's no reason, and there's only a reason to do that when I am doing specific comparisons. So I've been shooting all the game footage that I have for that off of a CRT. We got another $5 from Jonathan G, saying Yasuo Uematsu did Legend 1 and 2 with Kenji Ito. Legends 3 was Ryuji Sasai, my favorite of the series. Ito also scored this game.
Oh, okay. What is there anything else I might know Ito more familiarly for?
And the Evercade is, it's just going to be a video about the Evercade. There's not going to be anything particularly revelatory about it that you haven't seen in other videos. The only difference that you'll see in ours is the fact that they released a firmware for it that fixes the button issue, the button mapping issues. So I will be able to say that.
Did you ever get a chance to look up what the crystal does in this? I'm guessing it probably recovers MP.
It fills your will bar by 100%.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's cool.
But I think I think the Evercade video is going to come out very close to the DAC video because, as I said before, there's been plenty of videos out there on the Evercade at this point.
But, you know, people are always looking for our point of view on those kinds of things. So it's very worth doing, I think.
We got $1.99 from Nathan Kimball.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying Command & Conquer Remaster thoughts. Honestly, I have not really played any of the Command & Conquer games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I ever I might have dabbled in a little of one of them, but it's really fuzzy. I can't remember. I got a pillow. Can you look up what the pillow does?
Yeah. Induces sleep. Morton Hoagie is asking if we're getting a Polymega. We have not heard anything about whether or not we'd be on the list for a Polymega.
I'd love to look at it, though.
Yeah. Although, I think that Modern Vintage Gamer is already doing a pretty good. He has a lot of the exclusive stuff on it right now. A lot of the exclusive coverage. I think Saru Maro has been streaming it a lot on Twitch. That's the Saru Maro of Epic's Unit Yuki fame.
Ah, that's right. He showed up in our stream when you played that, didn't
he? Yeah. We got a $2 donation from Mitch B saying, RE4 remake, good or bad idea? I feel it's an unnecessary idea.
Yeah.
I'd be much happier with a Code Veronica remake.
Yes, that's much more necessary, I feel. I mean, I will absolutely get it, and I am hopeful that it will be good, but I think it runs a much greater risk of not being good than something else they could remake, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just wonder how there's so much more room to reimagine the earlier games than there is RE4, I feel. Like, just even changing, like, the flow of the levels and the design of the characters. I mean, here's the thing that's really going to break my heart about it. Like, they're going to use either the current or even possibly a different voice for Leon. And Leon has never been topped from Resident Evil 4. Like, his dialogue, the way that it's written and his delivery is so... I feel people don't appreciate how funny he is in that game. Like, it's just this really deadpan, corny humor that I absolutely love. He is hilarious in that game. And no matter what they do, it's not going to be as good.
Well, they're probably going to make it so it's not as corny, just in general.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is, Shinji Mikami, like, clearly understands, like, action movie corniness, you know? And I think he really embraced that, and I just don't think without him you're going to... it's just not going to be quite the right tone for that game, in my estimation.
Dr. Droop is wondering if we're going to get a mode. Would love to see a review from you guys. I'm hoping so. We've covered both of Terra Onion's previous two devices. And I would like to one day get... I'm not sure if the MVS version of the Neo SD Pro is...
I was like, where did my fire go?
In the chat knows if the MVS version of that is available. But I'm hoping that we will, yes. And it would be nice because we have a Phoebe, so we can compare it directly that way.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's always coming soon, and that's why I am really trying to get better about that, and that's why I'm going out of my way to put all these episodes that people have been asking for forever just on the front burner and do them. A, it'd be really good for the channel, and B, like, people want it. So what am I even doing? I honestly, like, this is all stuff that needs to be prioritized, and I am doing my best to prioritize that kind of stuff.
Definitely get a lot of items. Ooh, an ether.
There is Tony Galvin saying, produce what you can, don't kill yourself. But sometimes I look at how fast we were able to release videos a long time ago.
Yeah, when we weren't thinking everything had to be this big epic.
But it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
It still doesn't need to be.
It's okay to
we in many ways we have done it to ourselves. And there's certain things that I want to that should go in every episode, and I want to make it big and epic, as big as I can every time. But I think that there are such things as shorter episodes, and we should not feel that we should not be sad that we're not delivering something that's like enormous every time. Or okay, so relax with some space here every once in a while. You deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oops. I was in a pretty good rhythm of playing a lot of games lately, but I've been doing some other stuff lately. I do want to do this studio tour video. I'm excited about it. So I've been doing everything that I can to finish up everything down here. Speaking of the basement, it must have been Monday that we had a little bit of flooding down here, which sounds scary, but it was entirely my fault. Thankfully, it was entirely my fault. I thought it was. We had this crazy storm. It had to have been last Sunday or Monday night. And I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I heard it, and I knew it was really storming out. And so all the stuff down here is like there's a sump pump, and it's Everdry. This company Everdry did all this work before we moved here for the previous owner. They did like $15,000 worth of like work on this. So there's no reason for us to like worry about flooding because it's all taken care of. And my experience has been that it's like that is very much the case. The sump pump works great. I just hear the water like dumping in there when it goes down behind the Everdry walling that they put in, and it just like pumps it out. It hits a certain weight, pumps it out. It is like running constantly. But for some reason, we had not had a rainstorm that severe since moving in here. So I woke up at 5:30. I just felt it in my gut. I was like, I should go downstairs and take a look just to be sure. And so since I'm in the basement, there is one window that is kind of like in the ground, and there's like a window well around it, and it has these cinder blocks around it. And recently, my wife was like planting her garden, so she had some like sod picked up, and she put it all down like in one like around the cinder blocks. So what happened is the window well filled up, and the water couldn't drain fast enough because the sod and the dirt was there. So the water was like halfway up the window and started to come in like around the window a little bit. And then that went down a little bit of the wall and kind of made a pool, like back around where the sump pump is. So once like we figured out what was going on during when the rainstorm was still going on, we moved that. All the water just like drained out, and it was fine. So it was completely an accident. So I don't think that that'll happen again. Did you get the ever dry? Did you get the X5 or the X7? I don't know. I think it was probably. I mean, the way the previous owner made it seem, it was the X7 treatment.
No.
Not only that, but it has basically a lip.
That's what they want you to think. Anyway.
They come out, and if I have any problem with it, they will come out and they fix it for free for a long time. I mean, maybe for the rest of my life. Craig Wan's saying, are the games that you and your family play together from your collection? My wife has zero interest in games. I played through. I had a really fun time playing through Pokemon Snap with my kids a few weeks ago. It was very much a unforgettable experience. I think they had so much fun. They didn't really understand the controls. So I was playing and they were just watching, and the thing is, they are so into Pokemon right now that it was so much fun for them just to see these Pokemon come out, and they know their names, so they get excited to see who's gonna pop up next. Do you wish your wife was more interested? Doesn't that bother you at all? It doesn't bother me at all. If anything, I wish that if she's like on her laptop and doing something like on her own, like if I was playing a game and she'd just like hang out around me while it was happening, but so we could like talk and also just like be in the same room when I was playing a game. But I mean, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's cool that she has her own hobbies and I have my own. Got a $5 donation from Justin Sisson. Thank you. With a keep it up pair who is doing dumbbell curls.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep it up.
What's the? I'm looking at the super chat, and there's a avatar, but there's also like another icon in it, like in the same super chat.
That's Justin Sisson's. He put an image that looks like it's just this pair. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's
on his super chat icon. It
doesn't look like a pair from. I mean, I'm sitting pretty far away. It looks like. From here, it looks like an anime face, but I can't. Yeah. It's not. It's not green over here.
Right. It's not. It's gray here.
Oh, okay.
It's a super sticker.
Oh, super sticker. Fancy.
But Q46 says, I totally get that. I'm a big proponent of together, but each doing our own activities time. Yes, I agree, and I wish that is something that happened, but I think that she likes to watch her shows too, and she watches a lot of Netflix shows and a lot of shows on Hulu, and she'll watch these series, and I can understand that because that's not something she can do when I'm like have game audio playing. Right.
I've
Yeah, but you
no
play a ton of
idea
shows.
how to get out.
Sometimes I will go up and I'll sit down and I'll do my own thing while she's watching a show. And it's not like I'm sitting there asking all kinds of questions about what's happening. I'm okay just missing it and just like being there. We got a $1.99, I assume Australian aid.
Australia bucks.
Yeah, Australia bucks from 57 Rye. Thank you. It's just a super sticker of a coffee cup that just says tired.
Just woke up, I assume, over there.
I hear that. I hear that. I'll tell you though, I mean, my wife got me in on the coffee mate for coffee. It's like creamer for coffee, but like low calorie, like flavoring for creamer flavor, like the hazelnut and everything. And it is good, and it is probably too good for me, so I've stopped using it because I was finding that I was just drinking my coffee way too fast and drinking way more of it. It's like 15 calories per, so it's not like it's just.
Oops, that's not the right file. Oops.
It's not like I am taking like just having too much of the coffee mate, but I'm having too much coffee in general. So switch back to just drinking plain black coffee.
I loaded the wrong save, and I can't think of another way to.
Oh, you can hit. Oh, not with that controller, you can't.
Yeah, but see, and even though I brought up the Pro controller to go to the menu, like it was not in control of the game.
We had a $2 donation from Crazy Bingo asking, any plans for a Mr. episode down the line? And you can bet that we're going to have a Mr. episode.
Oh, yeah.
And holy crap, I've been really enjoying the CPS 1 release this week. It looks so good on a PVM. You know, I was playing. It really struck me when I was playing Captain Commando. And it looks so good on the Mister. It looks so good. Well, thank you, Zero himself. I'm pretty good with my Mister now, but I'll let you know if there's anything that I'm missing. See, Warren Hopi, it's true. Like you say, so together but separate activity time with my wife has led me to play a lot more portable games since she usually is watching stuff on the TV. And I can understand that. You know, sometimes I when we moved in here, I had an extra TV and I put a TV in our room. We hadn't really ever had a TV in our room. And sometimes she'll watch stuff on there, and I've been going to bed a little bit early. I've been getting in bed early, like around like midnight every night. So I've been getting up. I think I talked about it last week about how I've been going to bed before midnight, and I'm usually getting up around 6:30 or so every day, 6:37. And the thing is I've been taking my Switch up there to play while she watches her show, and the problem is it's like playing games in bed is like not a good idea for me because I immediately start to fall asleep and I don't even make any progress at all.
Okay, so the pillow makes the enemies go to sleep.
Yeah. We got a $2 donation from Silason Finite. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I know that I am. He says, I just bought this on Amazon for $25. Keep the change, you filthy animal. He didn't actually say filthy animal. Thank you. But honestly, I can't play games in bed because I just fall asleep.
I cannot imagine falling asleep unintentionally.
Well, I don't fall asleep unintentionally. I just my eyes start to roll a little bit. I'm like, I close my eyes and I know that I would fall asleep if I just let go and let myself fall asleep. But so I'll put the system up. Oh, we got a $10 donation from Kinda Cool Productions. Thank you. Jeez, thank you. It says, any thoughts on the Fenrir ODE for the Saturn? I just purchased one and want someone to reaffirm I made the right decision to become a fairly early adopter. I have not used it. Neither of us have used it. I think that Bob from Retro RGB did a video on it, though. I think that it's receiving fairly frequent updates.
I don't know like really anything about it.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a drive replacement SD card. Mm-hmm. And I think with the competition from Mode on the horizon, I'm sure that you're going to see plenty of innovation and updates for it. So you should not feel bad about it at all. I guess JLF is saying, make sure you have a 20-pin Saturn. I should read in bed. You know, it's true. You're totally right. I should just read in bed. I mean, that's something I should do more often. Cleansing Fire, we just popped on. What hardware are they playing on? We're playing on this obscure piece of equipment called the Nintendo Switch.
Officially. I mean, this is the collection of mana. This is not non-legit.
The Nintendo Switch comes on one of those Nintendo tapes.
Was Wendell a town in
Secret? It was not.
Secret, yeah. It's interesting that it's in this and 3 though. I don't remember. I remember like the Knights of Gemma. I don't remember if Gemma was a town. I don't think it was. Like I don't remember the town names in Secret of Mana at all.
Yeah, I just remember Podos because that's the first town.
Oh yeah. I think the Dwarf Village was just called Dwarf Village, wasn't it?
Crazy Bingo is saying, where can you find a PVM locally? I've had no luck with Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Shipping is insane. That is
It's getting a lot worse.
$1,000 question these days, I think. Yeah, OfferUp might show something, but I think that in a lot of cases you might just want to take the initiative and reach out to different studios. I mean, right now is a bad time because nobody's at these studios generally.
Like I don't even know if new studios have really held on to them at all, though. Like I've generally directed people to look for medical equipment reseller warehouses. I feel like those are the most likely places to have them, and also possibly be undiscovered, or they don't really know what they've got. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, a lot of the stuff is starting to get kind of picked over, I think. Or probably far picked over at this point. Or the people that have them know that they're selling for what they're selling for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, college surplus store. Like I had a friend who got a lot of stuff from a college surplus store around here. Look, Cheesemeister's listing the episodes. I mean, I look at that list and I'm like, oh my god.
Listing what episodes?
The episodes that I listed that I have on my episode list that are my prime focus right now, and it's like, whew. Like, whew.
Oh, was Crazy Bingo saying he's in North Carolina? Because I know where to find, or I have known where to find PVMs in North Carolina.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been several years since you've been to those places.
Yeah, I mean, there's a medical warehouse in Salisbury that, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, they were selling 20-inch PVMs for $40. There is a place in Elkin, North Carolina. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, those places probably get more all the time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I heard at one point that the place in Elkin wasn't really selling them anymore, and then I heard they were. And I've run across, if you live near Charlotte, go to Video Game World in Huntersville, and the manager there, his name is Zach. He's got like sort of long black hair. He kind of knows a lot about where the PVMs in the area are coming from, and he kind of talks to a lot of the people that, sometimes some people like bring some PVMs by, and I think he might have even helped distribute them. So, I mean, I think he sort of has knowledge of the local supply. So.
Good Vibe Collecting says that's quite the handful of episodes, Corey. And I mean, if I can do all those, I mean, if I could finish all those episodes by the end of the year, can you imagine that?
Yeah. Well,
can
and so sometimes
I mean, I think that we would hit 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year if I could finish all those episodes.
Sometime after Analog Frontiers 2 is out, also we need to make the geometry episode happen because we have shot a significant amount of footage for it. I just want to want to wait until Analog Frontiers 2 is out, because I am going to use a lot of footage from what I've shot for that in Analog Frontiers 2, so I want to be fresh for Analog Frontiers.
See, Mitch B is saying the place in Salisbury is picked clean.
Oh.
Shop in Retro, Lost Ark bought up all the ones they had left.
Oh.
I heard. Is that where we got all of ours?
Where? No, that was Elkin. The one in Salisbury was actually much nicer.
Is that the one that we got the VHS tapes from?
Yes, that was the place that had the VHS tapes. I bought every VHS tape they had for $50. It was like 700.
No, they're all in the closet here now.
That's still one of my favorite stories.
They're not in the way anymore.
I mean, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. Buying 700 VHS tapes. I mean, it was such a rush. Here's the Sage of Wendell. Oops.
But if I can finish those, if I can get at least a good amount of those episodes done by the end of the year, I think we could hit 200,000. It would be really cool to hit 200,000 this year, but probably there's no way we're gonna get 30,000 subscriber in 7 months, unless we have something that does just ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, YouTube like decides to send out a video to people again, like the GBA one that blew up again for some reason.
Yeah. That is the hope, is to see how many of those I can get done. And who knows, with my new scripting techniques, maybe it'll happen. But I'm going to try a different approach in terms of writing and recording, where I'm going to try to do like a segment at a time, and record it, or write it and then record it and then edit it, and then I do the next segment. And the idea in my mind, what I would like to do, ideally, is get 5 minutes of video done a day. And I think that is absolutely 100% possible if I just get into a rhythm with something, where I could constantly be doing 5 minutes of a video each day, and then I can release it. You know, I mean, when you think about that, 5 minutes of video a day, like Monday through Friday, I mean, it's like almost a half-hour episode right there. I think it's possible. We got a $2 donation from Venezuela saying, and a projector's 101 when you get done with those. Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to do. I mean, it's hard to say how extensive it could be, but what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, projectors would be a fun thing to do, but it's I mean, it's hard to say. But yeah, 5 minutes of video a day. I could write that and edit that every day, like just 9 to 5, and be ahead of the game. I am so sick of cramming for days as it gets like
yeah.
Like,
oh, I know it.
Like all at once. Like I want to do it like 5 minutes a day, and I can spread it out, and then every day I feel like I'm getting something done.
Yep, and that feels good and motivates you for the next day. You know?
Yeah. And it is absolutely a reasonable goal. That is my plan. I am going to finish this Trials of Mana video before I do that, but that's just because I want to get that done, and I can just post it, because it's that kind of thing is different. It's for an ad lib video like that. It's not worth spending 5 minutes a day. You just gotta go through it as fast as you can, because it's already been recorded. I'm just cutting it down. I don't need to script anything. Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what I have been trying to do. A lot of, like, on Mondays, I take care of a lot of, I guess, like clerical duties in regards to the channel. I mean, there it comes down to like posting these live streams, archiving whatever footage I have like recorded. I've made a habit of at least recording a few minutes of every game that I play for whatever reason, and I archive it onto it. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff. There's no reason that stuff should take as long as it has. And I guess last week it only took me a while because I archived a lot of different stuff and sorted through like the last like 3 or 4 episodes worth of stuff, where I backed up, you know, the full res versions of each episode, actually had a hard drive failure. They had all this footage of stuff that I had recorded for future episodes, and it was an external hard drive in an enclosure, and I bumped it and knocked it over, and it like stopped working. It stopped seeing it. Windows stopped seeing it.
Yikes.
And I was able to extract most of the footage off of it using mini tools, data recovery. Of course, I had to buy the Ultimate Edition to do that, which was I found a coupon and it was like $100 though. But that's good. It's like a lifetime use for that. But we had a Australian $5 from Unsolvable Captcha.
I love that name.
Yeah. Thank you. Saying this is actually one of my favorite games. I consider it to be a classic.
I'm enjoying it. It's very good.
Jonathan G, I saw that too, and I thought that's what it said at first myself.
Thought I said what?
With the A $5 looks like it says ass.
Maybe that's what he was going for.
Maybe. Jonathan G says, I spend a lot of time developing macros for video editing, or you can spend a lot of time developing macros for video editing. I'm an audio engineer. I assume it's the same for video. Yeah. I am really excited about the new update to Premiere that just came out, where I can hopefully speed up my outputs using the built-in MVenc encoder. It defaults to using your actual hardware instead of software.
Wait, really? It didn't. I assumed it was using hardware before.
For certain codecs, it will.
Supposedly, though, like software rendering, I think is technically a little higher quality than NVenc per like for the same bitrate level. But it's definitely faster, and for real-time encoding, more stable.
I've heard people say that they've had less errors with the hardware encoding.
Well, also, how do I get through here? Can I use the Matic? Probably not. Well, the newest NVIDIA cards, which is the reason I got the one that's in my computer down here, don't have the I never equipped the iron helmet. They don't have the newest ones do have like the best. It's a fair bit better than like what you have, the 1080 Ti, I think.
Yeah, that's what I have. But either way, I mean, just the fact that I can use the hardware in that form for outputting. Is good for me. It makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I need to update it because I still use the legacy titler tool a bit, and a lot of my projects broke when I downloaded the previous newest Premiere. So
got a $5 donation from Daniel Alexander saying, "I can't thank you both enough for the info on the 4K video. It's your technical magnum opus in my book. Any teaser info for the next Analog Frontiers?"
I mean that's one of the episodes I'm most proud of. I mean, I feel like that's really been able to help a lot of people. Analog Frontiers.
Do you have any teasers? I'm going to fill up my water. I will be right back.
Sure. Analog Frontiers Part 2 is titled Original Hardware. So it is, it kind of examines all sides of using original hardware. You know, how long can we expect it to last? You know, what sorts of parts of it might need service? Modifying original hardware. Things like that. You know, why do people play on original hardware? And hopefully that doesn't give people the idea that, you know, we're, you know, turning up our noses at other methods. Because then the next episode is all about going beyond original hardware. So, all, you know, hardware emulation, software emulation, and a lot of other aspects that people might not expect in that episode, actually. I think part 3 is, I've been saying I kind of suspect part 3 might end up being the fan favorite. Just because it's going to be very extensive and get very, I guess, kind of deep in terms of like long-term preservation. And Artemio is in both part 2 and part 3. So be very excited for that. I have no idea if I'm going the right way in any form whatsoever. And let me scroll back up. There was a $5 donation from Blake Romo. Thank you, sir. Saying you two gonna do an updated Game Boy video on all the new displays that are coming out and upcoming for Game Boy. IPS GBA is going to be my first YouTube video. You know, that's not something I've really considered. I mean, it would probably kind of have to be a situation where we would have to be lent like all these different screens, because I mean, I don't even have enough systems to have all those mods put into. And to be honest, I'm not really all that up to date on what are the current mods and things like that. So yeah, I could definitely be better informed on that myself. I mean, I guess I just haven't paid a lot of attention because I have been, you know, happy with my options for playing Game Boy right now. You know, if I need to play portably, normally I like to play on the screen, but if I play portably, I like to use the AGS 101, which I know a lot of people don't like that screen, but I like it. And hopefully, in terms of screens, the analog Pocket will be even better, maybe. I mean, we can't say for sure yet, but I'm looking forward to finding out. But yeah, I'd love to look at that if, you know, I had the opportunity to look at all of those. But the challenge is, why can't I carry? I've got an extra space. Yeah, like the problem then is, you know, well, maybe someone can lend me one and someone can lend me another. And I'd just be so worried about hanging on to, you know, those things for such a long time. The reason the Game Boy video was able to be as comprehensive as it was Bob just happened to have a whole ton of all of the stuff that was available. And he let me hold on to it for like, it was like a year, I think, almost before I got that episode together after he sent it to me. But he didn't care. I'd feel bad about holding on to someone else's stuff for so long, though. And I really feel like I'm going the wrong way, but I couldn't figure out a way to get through those trees before.
I'm back.
Can you look up what I'm supposed to do after Wendell? Because I feel like I've gone the wrong way. There was an area where it felt like I should go, but it was all I couldn't find a way through the trees. So I kind of backtracked, and now I'm like in the area that's near the beginning of the game.
Did you get your choco bots?
I don't. I mean, I was in Wendell. Wendell was attacked.
You gotta go to the in the world map. Go to south one screen from Wendell, and use the docks again. From the docks, head south 2 screens.
Oh, use the docks. I don't even know what it's talking about. Using docks.
Oh, we had a $5 donation from Blake Romo. Did you already read
that?
that?
Yeah, I read it. Yep.
Okay. That Game Boy video is less than 10,000 views away from 1 million.
Wow. That's hard to believe.
We got $2 Canadian from Jeffrey Smith. Joeffrey. Jeffrey with 2 F's. Jeffrey.
Okay.
I wanted to say 1 F, but that's how the song actually goes. Same, just balancing things out with the Aussie dollars. Thank you. Yep, that is a Pixies song. I was wondering if anybody would get it. We got another $5 from Blake Romo.
Thank you.
Saying, you should see my custom aluminum Stark Industries backlit rechargeable Game Boy Color. An aluminum Stark Industries backlit rechargeable Game Boy Color. Worth it. Can't wait for the analog pocket though. TV convenience.
Yeah, I really wish we had any idea when the analog pocket is coming out, but who knows? All the enemy drops in this area are not very...
I let your playlist roll all the time. Are you talking about the live stream playlist or just all of them? We got $2 for Love of the Game saying, "Oi, a dingo ate my dollar." Oi. We got $2 from Daniel Alexander. Thank you. Saying, does the Neo Geo AES have a feature on MLiG? Maybe.
I mean, we definitely would like to do a Neo Geo episode in general.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there will be a general Neo Geo episode.
And Neo Geo will play into the Super Guns episode.
Yeah, when I have to borrow. I'm going to borrow it from somebody.
Yeah, we don't have AES systems, unfortunately.
And we got $1 from Erst the Blood. Thank you. Saying, what's the best type of cables for Dreamcast video? Without the RGB 200 series, you guys do. I lost due to stuff like the VGA adapters and the RGB and HD Retrovision.
Well, HD Retrovision is not out yet, which is the main reason that the RGB episode isn't done yet, because it's like such a prominent upcoming option that it's going to feel like that episode is incomplete without it.
Yes.
So
but, I mean, I have a prototype of it.
Sure, but it still feels wrong to not do it when people can buy it, you know?
I don't know. I mean, we've shown their other stuff before. We've shown a lot of stuff.
Well,
before.
sure, but that was a long time ago. I mean, obviously we trust Steve, more than anyone, but it's just, in the past, like we've, talked about things that, we're still like, our estimate for when it would come out, was way off or something. I think it would be nice if it could be out when we do the episode, but it depends. I have no idea how their production has been affected currently. Not good, I'm assuming.
I'm just going to go forward with it. But also, in terms of SCART, the retro access cable is very good as well.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
I bought one, and unfortunately I haven't been able to use it much because it's not a problem with the cable, it's a problem with my Dreamcast. My Dreamcast needs I think there's a bad solder joint on the blue pin on my system because anything that uses RGB output from the Dreamcast has been... Oh, no! Well, it's okay. I was poisoned. I went down really fast, but it's okay. Like, I saved after I left Wendell, and I don't think I gained any levels, really. I don't understand what you were saying. Use the docks. Like, did I miss, like, getting a boat or...
After leaving Wendell,
did I miss getting, like, a boat or something?
In the world map, go to the south 1 screen from Wendell and use the docks again. From the docks, head south 2 screens and then go left 4 screens. Here, go south 1 screen. Are you just...
Oh, I see the dock. Why didn't I see that? I actually did not go down to this screen. But no, I don't... there must be an item I need to use the dock.
Yeah.
What is that? I don't think I have it.
Do you know what the Chocobot is?
No.
Forget your Chocobot. Always remember to take your Chocobot after you leave a town or dungeon.
Take your Chocobot.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's talking about. Is that an item I'm supposed to be able to find in Wendell?
It was an Ish. It looks like ISH. When you wake up, you'll find yourself in the house of Sarah, together with guess who, Bogard. You immediately stand up, begin hesitating about what's happening to you, about being a Geminite, and about mana. Then Bogard will tell you to shut up, and you'll get out of the house. Now talk to Sarah. She'll tell you that she believes...
Where is this? Where is this?
In some town called Ish.
And this is after Wendell?
This is before, because...
Well, I never went there.
I'm falling backwards.
Where is... What... Do you have any idea what town on the map is Ish?
The map is just like a big grid, so I can't even...
Well, yeah, the grid on my game doesn't even fill in either, but there are 5 towns marked on the map.
Well, this is worthless because it's like in Japanese. At least it's worthless to me right now.
Oh, I found gold.
Oh, here we go.
Do I just sell gold?
Ish is at C10. So if ABC
is up top,
like the alphabet is vertical.
Oh, okay.
So it's 3 down and then 10 to the right.
So it's the northernmost town. Wait. C10, yeah.
Yes, it's that one. It's the this one you already had.
Huh. Well, no, I mean, I don't. Those towns were always there on the map. Like this map doesn't change. It doesn't fill in. It just shows me where I am, and it shows where the towns are. Can you check if gold is just for selling?
There's also a town called Jad.
Oh.
Gold can be sold.
Okay, well, I'll do. No need for it taking up space in the inventory.
You gotta go to the dwarf cave, it looks like. Eric Geese is saying, from outside Wendell, go west, south, and west. Now cut down the tree to the west that is directly above the stand.
Okay, well that's what I was having trouble with. Like, how do you cut down trees?
Then go west twice and into the cave.
I tried the sickle and the mattock on the trees. Is there something? Do I have something that cuts down trees? Because there's a lot of trees in my way. Like it's very obvious that there's stuff further to the west, but I can't seem to get through them.
So it's from outside Wendell, go west, south, and west.
Maybe it's
now
the
cut down
axe.
the tree.
Oops.
Cut down the tree to the west.
Is it the battle axe? Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I got a $5 difference from.
It's unexpected, but cool that the weapons, like, you know, have use throughout the game. Anyway, sorry.
We had a $5 donation from Multiplix, saying, shout out from Huntington, West Virginia. Enjoy the stream, guys. Thank you. I feel like I drive through Huntington, West Virginia when I've driven there before.
I may have as well. Oh, here's
there was a $2 donation from Joshua Helmicky saying, you can probably do it. Can you say $2, but you gotta say it like Leon from Resident Evil 4?
Let me think here for a second.
I've only played through Resident Evil 4 one time.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh, I've played it so many times. I'm trying to think if I can modify it for a good line in the game. What would be a good one? Hey, it's those $2. I don't know if you remember, there's this dog, or it's kind of a wolf at the beginning of the game, that if you free it, he like comes and helps you a little bit during one of the boss fights. And like Leon just turns around and goes, "Hey, it's that dog." I mean, I don't know if I can really do a Leon voice. I mean, his voice is very normal.
Yeah.
But I love him in that game. He's so understatedly funny in that game.
Changing my perspective here. I'm just like, I feel like facing forward instead. Is the background only grayscale for our sake? It's really bright and colorful in the actual collection. No, this looks correct to me. I mean,
if you change the if you change the because I have this controller connected, the NES Joy-Con right now, I can't change it. But if you hit, I think it's L2. It's either L2 or R2. It toggles through a bunch of different view modes. And this one, it's not colorful. It's this color.
Lord X Mugen says, why do you feel like this series couldn't find an audience during the 6th generation? Well, I think that they were always trying to.
What gen is 6th gen? That I don't personally like thinking of the numbers of generations. So
I'm assuming it's the PS2 generation.
PS2 generation. I mean, part of it is it came. I mean, Dawn of Mana came out after the PS3 was already out. And it wasn't all that well received, but it's a very interesting game. I played through it last summer, and I enjoyed it overall, mostly just because it was weird. It has its problems, but it was interesting.
I think that they struggled because they couldn't. They always wanted to do something different. I think if they just made a straightforward game that like felt like Secret of Mana, it would have been better.
I mean, but it was an interesting game for sure. I think. I just want to show the different view modes. I think I'm going to stop in the dwarf cave because. Oops. Okay, so it's. So it's just different view modes. So here's the colorful one that's grayscale. And this one I really like because this is like the #1 palette on the Super Game Boy. So it's kind of awesome that it's here.
Yeah.
But the dot matrix is just done so well on this. Like I always prefer my Game Boy games to be a little green. I didn't think that back in the day, but today I do.
We had a $2 donation from MK Iron Fist asking, is the input latency as bad as folks say?
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, I'm even using Bluetooth controller here, obviously. I mean, I am not overly sensitive to input lag, but to be honest, I don't feel like Secret of Mana or Trials of Mana are particularly like responsive feeling games, even on like the Super Nintendo.
The Trials especially, I think.
Yeah, but even Secret of Mana, I've never thought of that as like a Twitch action game. Like it doesn't. I don't know. I just don't think it is. So.
We had $2 from Container 7 who just said adventure. And also $5 from David Denuzio saying, hello from Connecticut. Hope to see you at Retro World again this year. COVID issues hopefully pass us by then. I mean, we haven't heard anything. I know that they are planning on keeping, like, for the time being, they're planning on still having it, but I'm not sure if. I mean, I guess it'd be in 5 months from now.
It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine, honestly. But I mean, we're going to be pretty convention hungry after this year, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, we have not, but I mean, we haven't heard it from anybody about going again, so I don't know yet. Yeah,
I know that Long Island Expo is doing some sort of online event.
The Uplink, and we've been asked to take part in it. I did not mention this to you. Like, we got an email about being as part of their Uplink virtual convention that they're doing.
That's cool. I'm excited. I love the Long Island Expo.
I'm not exactly don't know exactly all that it entails yet, but I think there's going to be panels. And I was thinking about how that we could do a panel.
Oh, you can keep talking.
Okay. We could do a panel from our homes just like we do a live stream essentially, and we can maybe put together some sort of presentation in a way. We could like show certain games or talk about certain things. And not only that, but we could probably have guests from elsewhere on with us. Because I mean, we already have this setup to be able to do streams like this. I bet we could figure out a way to do that. Sorry, I'm kind of sliding off the side of the screen. I thought I was, but maybe I need to go this way more. There was a $2 donation from Lucas Peruzovich saying dwarves, lally ho. And also, Sainer 80 says lally ho. Thank you, everybody. Jay Gray with $5 says, I really love the FF7R ad-lib video.
Well, thank you. Not that many people watched it, but we appreciate everyone who did.
And this week I started replaying the original again for the first time in about 15 years.
Whew, that's going to be a good experience.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good experience.
There's $4.99 from Jeppe Condile. I apologize for how I say your name. But it says, hey, your GameCube vids helped me get back into the GameCube big time.
It's good to be back into it now because it's been getting the system has been getting more expensive lately in terms of a lot of the games. So
was it really?
Get what you want for it now. It just seems like GameCube has been really sought after for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The past couple of years, it just seems like it seems like the nostalgia for GameCube is hitting a lot harder right now than say PS2 or Xbox. Maybe just because PS2 or PS2 especially is just more common. A lot of cheap games. There's less supply for GameCube games, but I mean, I know you've already done the PC Engine Mini, and this isn't exactly like optimal unboxing camera position here, but I mean, I haven't even opened this yet, so why don't I just do it? Why not?
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. Did I hear?
Do it, Doug.
I think I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think there might have been, was there another donation, or are you caught up?
No, I got it.
Okay. This tab does not slide out very easy. I was like so on the fence whether I was going to keep my pre-order for this. I was like, do I really need it? But, it's cool. And I love the box. It's very 90s. Mm-hmm. It'll be good decoration for my wall of boxes upstairs. This thing is huge. A black and white manual. I don't know if that follows the dimensions of any actual manual that came with the original. No clue.
For Love of the Game is saying, what do you think about the Xbox Live 1.0 revival service? I think that's super cool that it's happening. I think it is really, really cool. I'm excited to see what they're able to get out of it. I'd play some Halo 2 online. Just
this thing is so big. This thing is like bigger than a Wii.
Talk about that Wii like that.
How does this come off? Of course, you have to. Well, actually, I guess you can't. There is a hole. Like if you wanted to keep this on, there is a hole that you could run the.
Oh, there is?
There's a hole. There's a hole. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a hole that you could run the HDMI cable through.
Oh, that's cool. I thought that it was missing that for some reason. I thought
Where?
maybe I thought that wasn't on the first run of them.
Oh, I don't know.
That's cool. It's got a hole in the backside.
So, and then I guess you could also run the power that way, although it's. Could you? Yeah, I guess you could. It's just a little less direct, but well, yeah, you could. It's just
There's a hole
tricky.
there. It's gone now.
It's got the little, the little cue card clip. I wonder if the percentage that it's smaller is the same, because I'm sure like the size of the hue card slot is probably the same as the PC Engine that you have.
You ever when it was on TV? It was maybe like 10 years ago. There's a show called Hole in the Wall. It's like basically the stupidest show ever. Are you familiar?
No.
Is anybody in the chat familiar with the show Hole in the Wall? It was so dumb.
It's so funny if there's like antenna switch and channel 3 and 4 switch and there's just nothing on the side there.
It does sound dirty, but it was actually a game show where these people are on this bridge over water and these walls come at them with these different shapes cut out of them, and they had to like jump through it.
It's interesting holding a fresh controller of this. I feel like I'm less familiar with the TurboGrafx controller compared to the PC Engine controller, but this D-pad is more raised up above the shell than my PC Engine controllers are.
Oh. Is it? It might be based on a Japanese show. That would make sense. I'm pretty sure that actually sounds.
What do you mean?
The show Hole in the Wall.
Oh. I feel like the 1 and 2 buttons feel a little mushy, maybe. Like there's not a strong give to them. This thing is so
I think
big.
the Hole in the Wall was on primetime television at one point.
Why did you think of it? Oh, the hole in the back of the
Yeah, it was
TurboGrafx.
Yeah, think about Hole in the Wall. It is like the stupidest show that's ever. Stupidest show has ever been thought of, probably. You know, hook it up and play it.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I know you've already done this on a very special stream one time. But why not just give it a little attention? I briefly thought about playing Bonk 2 or PC Ginjin 2. I assume I can play that version on this one, but I'm not positive, actually. Can you? I know Bonk's Revenge is on. I was looking on the back of the box. It didn't advertise PC Ginjin 2, though. Not that I've noticed, anyway. Well, I thought about it, but I didn't. Do you think I mean you played Bonk 2. You've played Bonk 2 on the stream before, though, so I should probably not stream Bonk 2.
We got a $2 donation from JJJ John. Thank you. With no message. Sinister Sally, to be honest, I have not played the Sega CD version of Lord of Thunder. I mean, Lords of Thunder. I think that
I didn't know there was one.
Feels like it feels like a TurboGrafx series. So
I didn't know that was a thing. I'll just plug this in using.
I mean, that is worth having just for the music that plays on the TurboGrafx side menu. That's one of my favorite aspects of it. It's just that song.
You know, I could actually. What's funny is, I mean, this thing is so big that I can just. I've got like just because I've got the room for it down here, I've got the NES Classic and Super Nintendo Classic and the Mega Drive Classic hooked up.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, just because I've got the HDMI ports for it, so why not? Even though I don't really use them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like this thing is so big, I can just like set like the NES and Super Famicom on top of it. It's so stupid. Although actually, I need to. I need to get more power cords. If I'm going to have them all hooked up, I do need to get more power cords out
here. I'm hoping that a retro receiver comes out for the TurboGrafx 16 or the PC Engine that from 8BitDo, so I don't know how good those controllers are, but I'm sure that they're decent. They look comfy.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the official controllers. I mean, they're okay. Right now, my PC Engine is like a really short run to where I sit anyway, so.
Oh, First the Blood got the Retrobit Saturn controller. Did you get the which color did you get? Oh, you got the clear blue, the ice blue, or whatever it is. What's that?
That's what I've got. There it is.
I love that music.
It sounds like. It almost sounds like some of the music that was in the M2 documentary from Sir Flash. Like it reminds me of that for some reason.
I think we talked about that before. Maybe they were inspired by it.
Let's go to settings. What was your opinion on the CRT filter again?
I mean, it's okay. I don't even remember. P. Puddin saying, why is the channel named as it is? That's a good question. The reason it is named that is because I think at the time I was listening to a lot of This American Life, and I was the podcast This American Life, and I like the idea of it being more of a documentary style channel that was about people involved in the gaming industry. But in order to do documentaries and stuff like that, we had to create a body of work, I guess is the best way to put it.
The shimmer is really bad when you're moving at your slowest speed in this.
At that point. But the idea is that other people could take ownership of the name.
Right, it's not Coury and Try's Life of Gaming, it's my Life of Gaming.
Yeah.
I really need to get this game
Sean
sometime.
Quinn, I think that all of the mini systems have something that says the system's shutting down when you hit the power switch.
I really like his sweaty run in this game. I've never played this version of Adventure Island before, but I've heard that it's a common pick for people's favorite one. The fruits are like huge in this too.
We can't rename the channel. Can't imagine rebranding at this point, for one thing, and I don't even know what I'd rebrand to.
Yeah.
Pretty happy. I like the name because it's like it fits exactly what we intended it to be.
How do you wait? It's like the TurboGrafx doesn't have a reset button. How do you reset?
You hold down start and press select. Hold down run and press select.
I see.
Human Rights saying, have you ever thought about expanding the Patreon tiers? I wouldn't even mind them not offering anything different or better. Just want to support you guys for more on a monthly basis. No, I feel pretty good just like having the one tier and people can do whatever they want to do. And I mean, there's been times where we've been able to provide a decent amount of bonus content, but it's sadly been a lot less than it has been recently, and that is something that is going to change and improve once again. But I think it's just better to have the one tier and just people can do whatever they want to do.
I love how when they put the hue cards in, it like slides in, and then there's like a last push to click it in.
Yeah.
It's not just a smooth in. That load actually takes a while.
I use that arcade card.
Are there any difference in the characters? I want to go with green.
We do our best to improve. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I mean, I think that we're improving, but I think that we always just strive to do the best that we can each time. Sometimes, sometimes that's longer episodes. Sometimes that's, I guess a lot of that comes across in the amount of B-roll in videos now.
There's morphing faces.
Our videos used to be like mainly gameplay, but now I say that it's like they're really heavy on B-roll now.
Yeah. Do you get speed up items in this game? You move really slow.
Try pressing select.
I did. I don't think there's a speed toggle. Psh, I'm real bad.
Sinister Sally wants you to play Lords of Thunder next.
Alright. I can do that. That's available on the Turbo site, I think. Probably both. Oh, I'm actually stopped on it. I mean, I'm sure there is technically lag in the collection of mana, but I mean, it's nothing that I felt. I mean, you know, I'm using, of course, I was using the
the games are
Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but especially Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, like I said, I feel like those aren't particularly responsive games in the first place. So if people, I mean, it's, you know, some people might be judging it based on that. But I mean, it's hard to say. I'm not the most sensitive to lag, honestly, so
a lot of, I mean, after last week with the Mr. Core games I was playing, and then this week with ending it with the TurboGrafx, there's been a lot of TurboGrafx love on the channel last week.
I mean, I love the TurboGrafx. I was tempted to play some TurboGrafx today, but I really wanted to stream a system that I could play downstairs. Because I have been wondering if the stream problems I've had lately could possibly be caused by something to do with my internet connection upstairs as opposed to down here.
Is that the line that they ran too?
Well, I mean, there's 3 Ethernet cables. It's not really a lot. It's not really like a line in like the traditional sense. Like it's just 3 Ethernet cables run. And 2 of them are unused. I just had them run extra, just in case. But you know, they're just Ethernet cables, and one is connected to my router. Like it's not like really properly wired, like you know, through like the walls or through like an outlet or anything. It's just run. And I bought like, you know, really good cables as far as I could tell. You know, rated for outdoor installation. You know, it's running through the attic and stuff. So, I mean it should be fine. I mean, they're 100-foot cables. I don't know if that can possibly have an impact.
Are they 5E or are they 6 or 7?
I mean, you know, I bought overkill. I'm not really, you know, it's not something I keep off the top of my head, but
okay.
But anyway, I mean, this stream has been fine, hasn't it? Any issues? Has there been any stream issues? I mean, I've got 0.
There's been 0 stream issues.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 0 dropped frames. So next time I stream, I'll stream from upstairs again. And I mean, we'll just see if I did swap which cable was actually connected to the computer up there. See if that could possibly make a difference. So next time I'll stream upstairs, and we'll see if we have problems or not.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pick something that if we do have problems, I could easily move downstairs quickly. You know, something that I could play upstairs or downstairs, like Super Nintendo or Genesis or NES. I'm sorry I'm no good at this game. I'm not good at shmups. Let's pick one more. Let's see. Let's go back to the PC Engine side.
We both use Extron still.
Yep.
I mean, I have 2 of them hooked up.
Mine, I need to kind of get better routed.
Oh, you need to? I thought you'd already taken care of that.
I mean, I ran into some. I mean, I did. I'm not used. The Extron doesn't impact the RGB and component side of the room at all. it's like the stuff that I'm doing with like composite and S-video and stuff. And I kind of ran into some stumbling blocks, so it's kind of sitting half unfinished at the moment. But I think I've figured out a lot better what I want to do. So I just haven't got back to it. I recognize this music from some video. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used this in the video.
What's your general opinion on this game? This is a game that,
I mean, it's an iconic game on the system.
right? I mean, it's a game that you see a bit about, but I've never had much of a sense of like, do people love it?
It's okay. I've never been a huge fan of it.
I mean, I'm still kind of proud of the fact that my TurboGrafx library is shmup free. That's not a slight against shmups at all. I'm just very proud of the fact that I've managed to create a decent collection of games that I have enjoyed a lot for the system without having to fill it with shmups. Just because I feel like a lot of people that, you know, a lot of people think that that's all the system is about, and because that's what people love to talk about the most for it. But I think there's a lot more to it than that.
In terms of the most Extron switchers, you output 5-volt TTL level sync. Are you attenuating, or do you have an alternate output level? That's only really an issue if you're sending to a scaler like an OSSC, and you can put a resistor in the cable, which is what I have done. There's a resistor in there, but Retro Access sells these little pass-through, BNC pass-through things for the sync line that will attenuate as well, which is a really easy way to do it. But if you're running from an Extron to a scaler, you definitely want to attenuate that.
Oh, why am I not using the turbo toggle on this?
There's some other games. Or are you using the turbo?
Yeah. I mean, it automatically fired, but I didn't think until later, like, oh, maybe it'll fire faster. I mean, the nice thing about this is it gives me an easy way to play at least some TurboGrafx games downstairs if I want to, you know? With my PC Engine hooked up upstairs.
I wouldn't say that I'm an outlier. I mean, I like shooters. I'm not very good at them. And there's many that I've not finished. A lot of times I don't finish them. I like to play them.
I like the idea of them,
yeah,
but
I'm a pro at them.
I like the idea of them, but it's just never totally clicked for me. The only like serious one I've ever beaten is
do me a favor and go to Salamander and hold down select and press start. There it is. It's right after Gradius.
Okay.
Hold down select and press start. And you'll play the enhanced version of it.
Oh.
Which I guess is...
How can we tell that we're on it?
I mean, it looks pretty good.
There was some voice just now.
It's like a rebuild that they did of it.
Whew, this is a lot faster than Life Force. Is this version of the game Japan exclusive?
Well, this is they rebuilt the whole game for this version.
Right,
But
right,
yeah,
but
I mean, yes, it is.
is the PC Engine regular PC Engine version considered pretty
Yeah,
good?
well, I mean, even Gradius is. Yeah, this is like the arcade, like near arcade version.
Wow.
Like it's close to arcade perfect.
Is there problems with the normal version of the game?
No, it's just I think they did it because they thought they could do a better job.
Yeah. So that Hori could, take out another loan about the price of a new car, right? Oh.
I mean, the way that they do stuff is probably just something that one of them did in a couple of weekends.
Yeah.
Hour of Anger theme? Download and download 2 is not on the...
Oh, wow, that's a really quick transition. I don't
Yeah, it's
remember.
kind of cool that it turns like that.
I don't remember the NES version doing that.
Oh, no, it doesn't. But yeah, this is exclusive. Does anybody know if these are possible to, or if anybody has dumped these yet to play on real hardware, and do they work on real hardware?
So it's interesting to me that in this you just seem to get power-ups automatically, and in Life Force on the NES you like choose what you want Gradius style. Like, unless the interface for that is hidden here, like, it seems like you don't do that here. Which I actually might prefer. I never really cared for the Gradius upgrade system, honestly. That's cool. But we're after midnight now, so I'd say that'll do.
All right. Shining Force, we have not been contacted about the Polymega. I mean, we'd definitely like to look at it, but we have a lot of stuff that is already in the works. So we'll see. We will see.
All right.
I'm gonna do it.
I guess that'll do it. So, you're planning to release the Mana video next, rather than another episode?
It'll be sometime this week.
Okay,
and
cool.
then you can expect Evercade and Analog DAC to follow shortly after that.
And sometime within the next month, Analog Frontiers 2. It's happening. It's happening. All right. Well, we'll see you on Sunday again.
All right. Thanks to everybody who donated and hung out. It was a lot of fun this week.
All right. Later.
Good night, everybody.